there were very cool takes that didn't end up there. That for sure. That for sure. I remember when I watched this. I said, "Why did you cut out?" But and again, it was because I did things that David didn't ask me.
Yeah.
I improvised and I did crazy things.
So let's talk all things other. So first of all, like how would you best describe this film to the uninitiated?
It's a trauma-driven drama. It has horror elements, of course, but I really see it as a trauma-driven drama. It has lots of messages. It speaks about the obsession with beauty. It speaks about the childhood abuse. It speaks about the cruelty and how, with that cruelty, we create monsters ourselves. It speaks about the journey of self-discovery, the journey of healing from trauma. So it's quite a psychological movie. It's about a lot of pain and how a character comes through, crosses that barrier by looking the pain straight in the eyes and comes out, you know, hopefully lighter after
Yeah.
all of that experience.
Well, and like when this script came across your desk, what intrigued you the most about it? Like, was it the character, the story itself?
It was the fact that it was quite scary. I mean, I was genuinely scared when I was reading it. I had to look out in the corridor a few times to check that there was no one, which I very rarely do, because I usually don't believe in these things. But I was really in it,
Yeah.
it was the whole this psychological part, the fact that it was dealing with the trauma, which, let's be honest, we all have. We
Yeah.
all carry some sort of childhood trauma, whether it's something minimal or I don't know. A kid got bitten by a spider and remembers it for the rest of his life, or something much graver,
Yeah.
like abused by one of the family members, etc., etc. So it ranges. The range is huge, but we all have it,
Mhm.
and it's what makes us us, what makes us into an adult later, and how it affects our life later. So it's a very important subject.
Well, and I know you were a model at a very young age, so did that help inform some of the background for Alice?
Yeah, of course, because there's this whole obsession with beauty going on with the mother who desperately wants her to win the beauty pageants, and um, she wants her she keeps her right. She checks her weight, and she keeps her on a diet, and which is basically, well, she basically abuses the child, uh, knowingly or unknowingly. You wonder whether she realizes what she's doing, but she's so obsessed by it, she's going to do it anyway. Um, uh, and so that, of course, I've seen that around me. My mother didn't do this to me, thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
I was quite lucky. If anything, my mother was always, oh, eat more. Why are you so skinny? So it was that kind of mother. But I saw, of course, in modeling, colleagues and my friends doing it to themselves, starving, all that stuff, torturing themselves, and yeah, people, either it's imposed on people or people do it to themselves.
Well, and what was it like to essentially be the only face that appears in the film?
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, after the face, I don't know if you're tired of it yet. That can be pretty daunting to watch. But as in being on this set by myself, and I really don't mind it, because a lot of people think it's difficult, and I've had these questions a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't find it difficult. I find it, if not easier, because you get more liberty, more freedom, to explore, to create, and to try different things. Because sometimes with partners, they don't want to try certain things, and you want to, and you can't. You have to work in a team. But there I was free to do whatever I wanted, and it was caught on camera, and they had a choice. And we've done so many different versions, and it's always good to try things.
So does that
I'm
mean
not,
does that mean like for during the filming process you were just trying different stuff depending on like in getting to
yeah.
like David gave you room to be able to try things?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And you can, and this is when you're alone. This is a great thing. So you can do whatever you want,
Yeah.
and you can do, the most ridiculous things, which might, but no one is there to tell you, oh, I'm not going to do this, I think it's stupid. You
Yeah.
just do it, and you know what, and if it's stupid, it's not going to get used. Like
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of that.
Yeah.
But if you don't try, you don't get the, because sometimes in mistakes there's a gem.
Yeah.
You have to just throw it away and do and go for it. And I love it. I love that
Is
freedom.
is it scary though as an actor when you're watching the final cut of the film and wondering of like, oh no, which what like how did they shape this? Like what takes did they use?
Yeah,
Is there any of
yeah,
that?
I'm nervous. Yes. I'm when I watch it for the first time, I'm always nervous. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, which take did they take, and
Yeah.
why? And sometimes, I'm happy, and sometimes like, why there was another take? Why is this one?
Yeah.
There was something better. But then, I think it's better. They think this one is better. Like people get different opinion. Who
Yeah.
knows? Um,
It's always the worst when it's like a technical issue where it's like, well, we had soft focus on that take, so we had to
I
then.
know, and because of that, yeah, that I hate. But
Yeah.
it's just life.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and David said that since you're alone for much of the film, he really wanted to avoid having you talk to yourself to get across like exposition. That means it's much more reliant on your actions and reactions. What was it like to carefully orchestrate those beats with David?
it came naturally. I don't know. It was, there was this house. There was like a character itself that was very well that was that portrayed the coldness and the obsession of the mother. Um, so that really helped. Um, so what was it like? It's just, when I act, I just believe in it, and that's it. This is really what it is.
Yeah.
I was there. The atmosphere was right there, was real. We shot a lot at night. It was dark outside. We were like in the middle of the forest. That house, there are scenes in the forest too. It was everything. There was the base was there, right? The blinking lights, the dark corridors, the cold rooms, and the
Yeah.
the plastic on top of the furniture. All of that.
Yeah, I
Um,
imagine the set design probably helped just inform some choices since it obviously it like you said it feels like another character in the movie, especially your childhood bedroom. I feel like
yeah,
there's a lot of little details there.
yeah. I loved the bedroom. It was great.
Yeah.
We did a lot of. There were takes. There were very cool takes that didn't end up there. That for sure. That for sure. I remember when I watched this. I said, "Why did you cut out?" But and again, it was because I did things that David didn't ask me.
Yeah.
I improvised and I did crazy things. There was a moment when I wrapped myself in that. I took that plastic, and I completely wrapped myself, and I made it all tight, and I was like suffocating and couldn't breathe. But maybe it was too claustrophobic. Maybe it was too terrifying because it did look pretty. It was a very strong image,
Yeah.
and they didn't put it. I wonder if it was maybe it was making people uncomfortable when they were watching,
Yeah.
but it didn't end up there. But I thought for a horror movie, it's a
Yeah,
great
it's a
thing.
great
So it was
visual.
very metaphorical for what the character is going through.
Yeah.
And again, when he saw me do this, he said, "Wow, this is great. How did you come up with it?" But I just play with stuff, and this is something that you can do more. You get more liberty to do that when you're alone.
Yeah.
Because imagine I say to the other actor, let's do this," and he goes, "Oh, I'm not going to do that. That's
Yeah.
scary. It makes me feel uncomfortable, or I'm going to suffocate." But I'm not afraid to do it to myself because I control it. So
When I know you star in a lot of action movies, and those can be quite stringent and not have the place for essentially improv and trying to figure things out because obviously you have like set action beats to try to hit. Do you feel like like thrillers and dramas they just give you a little bit more like room to work as an actor?
Certain, it depends on the story. It
Yeah,
depends on the story, but thrillers, I do love thrillers. Who
no,
doesn't? It's always, the mystery, the discovery of it, the journey to discovery is always fun.
yeah,
The unknown is always fun, and so yeah. But of course, if there's an element of action to it, it's quite fun to work on. I think it's much more fun to do it than to watch. It's even more fun to do
yeah.
it. But yeah, with this one, we didn't have any action. Although, yeah, although I've done quite a few stunts there without even having a stunt person on set.
Really?
Because yeah, because I just do things. I would just run in the forest and just fall, and they're like, "Oh, are you okay?" I was like, "No, no, I'm just doing it to make it all, the drama." They're like, "Yeah, but you need protection." I was like, "Nah." So I'm so used to it, I'm used to falling in the dirt and
Yeah.
things. So I enjoy it. So
Yeah.
I don't shy away from it.
Well, I absolutely love the forest in the film. Where did you guys end up filming?
It was in Belgium. Yeah, it was great.
Belgium.
The nature was amazing. Well, it was raining every day. Of course, the nature was amazing. The weather was awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, the house was like in the middle of the forest, and yeah, they had some beautiful, beautiful corners in that place. It was like a village.
Yeah. So was it as isolated as it looks? Because it seems like it's literally middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it was. No, there were neighbors, but somehow the territory was big around it, so you didn't really feel the neighbors.
Yeah.
I never saw like it was really big. I don't know who lives in the house or how they
Yeah.
found it, but yeah, it was quite big. There was you could run into the forest for a while.
Yeah.
Um,
When David seems to have a very distinct vision in all of his movies, what's he like as a director to work with?
oh, he's so precise. Yeah, David. Wow, he was when I on the first day, the first 3 days. I had to I had to accustom to him because it was yeah, I didn't expect it to be honest. I didn't expect him to be so meticulous about the details. I mean, you get directors, of course, they have to be attentive, but David is very he would have thought about every detail or some movement that even I didn't think of, or something that is not important to me. It would become so important, and you absolutely had to hit that note. And so, yeah, between my imagination and then his imagination that I didn't include, I had to like work with both. It was yeah, uh, sometimes he really insisted on something that I absolutely had to do, and there was no way around it.
Yeah.
And that's yeah, not every director. Some directors just say, "Oh, do whatever you want," or. But he had certain things that were very important to him, and I had to take them into account, which is it's interesting. I think we both that collaboration was interesting because it wasn't just um, sometimes we had these creative conflicts, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think we did better than what we could have done if we just kind of let it. It's good that he didn't just let things go.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely
Passion's
has a
always
very
good.
yeah, he's very passionate, and I am too. So imagine both of us. But we're best friends. But we were just very like on the set. We are we are quite. I think yeah, we're too. Yeah, I don't know how to word it. We're very
Yeah.
particular people. I think on set.
Well, before we
Um,
wrap up, it is spooky season, so I was wondering, do you have any like favorite like spooky movies that you like to watch during this time of the year?
mm, yeah, do I watch spooky movies? Well, it's not a seasonal thing for me, a spooky movies. So, but I do, yeah, I do love certain spooky movies. You see, I don't like gore.
Yeah.
That I'm not into, but I like the psychological thrillers or things that, that are metaphorical, about something that is, in the end, real.
Yeah.
Um, and I like David Lynch's movies very much, and he's a very it's always a element of horror mixed with some other things and traumas, and always
Well, that's all the time I have with you today. Thank you so much for talking. This has been awesome. You have a great rest of your day, Olga.
thank you very much.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.